Welcome to Straight Talk on Social Media, or good afternoon, wherever you may be. Thank you for joining us on this Friday, just a little bit before Christmas. I hope that you are doing well, and we have a fun webinar for you today. We're going to be talking about social media resolutions you can make for 2013, and some things you might think about as you prepare for the new year when it comes to social media. But before we do that, just a few news items, and this week for some reason they all happen to be Facebook related. So first of all, Facebook has introduced some new privacy settings yet again, and if you heard anything about the vote that they tried to take among their members, they are sort of going on this notion, that Facebook is something of a democracy and that their users could determine what happens in terms of Facebook privacy policies and things like that. Well, it turns out that one of the clauses of that, members get to vote deal was that it had to be something like they had to get 300 million votes at least in order for the user vote to count at all, which is, of course, 300 million is about 30% of Facebook's user base, and it's also a huge, huge number of people. Actual number of people who voted I guess turned out to be around 700,000. So Facebook's experiment with democracy has gone by the wayside, and now they're moving ahead, I'm sure, as they had already planned to do. So you can see a screenshot here of sort of what some of the new privacy is going to look like as they roll it out to users. They have these, what they're calling privacy shortcuts, so they can, so you can easily, look at your privacy settings. They're trying to make it easier for people to figure out. I did learn that one of the things that they've decided to do is to stop letting people hide themselves in search results. So it used to be that, if you didn't want your name to show up when somebody searched for you, or if you didn't want your profile to show up when somebody searched for your name on Facebook, you could hide that. And now they've taken that away, and that is, I think, an indication of their step in this sort of social search direction. And they said that, well, it was really only something like 0.1 or 0.01 of our users or something like that, and as as the article I read pointed out, that could still mean it's millions of people who have opted for that. But anyway, it's something they've taken away. So we'll show you more about the privacy settings once it's rolled out to everyone. Facebook has also changed its ad ordering process again just a little bit, and this is for Facebook pages. If you are pointing an ad toward your page as opposed to toward your website, they've just you can see some of the difference here. They really are trying to get you to think about what you want the ultimate goal to be for your ad. Are you just trying to get more likes? Are you actually wanting to promote your posts? Or are there other things that you want to do with these advanced options? So just know that if you go in to run a Facebook ad, especially for your Facebook page, that may have changed a little bit in terms of how it looks. And then Facebook also just this week launched Gifts, which is it's a service now. It's been sort of rolling out slowly to users little by little, but now it's there for everyone. So when you go into Facebook and in the top right corner you see that it's somebody's birthday, you can click on their name and you can write them a birthday message, but then you'll also see an option to give them a gift. And then you can order the gift directly through Facebook with one of its retailers that it has signed up with, and the person can easily either pick the color of the gift if they want to be ordering some sort of clothing or something like that, or they can modify the gift a little bit, and then it gets sent to them. So anyway, they're launching it sort of just in time for Christmas, but really it's connected to people's birthdays more than anything. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to that. Interesting to see if Facebook starts rolling it out to more and more retailers and businesses who are able to sign up to be selling through gifts. And obviously we'll keep our eye on that also and let you know. So that's the news, and now the focus, Straight Talk on social media New Year's resolutions. So as 2012 ends, if you felt like you have sort of gotten behind on social media this year at all, or feel like you're not necessarily on top of your game, I just wanted to offer a few suggestions of things you might do that are, pretty simple steps you can do and things you can take into 2013. I'm trying to make this as practical a list as possible. So first of all, do something brand new on Facebook. Do something you've never tried before. And why do I say this? Well, maybe it's been a while. You've had your Facebook page for a while, and you're sort of caught in a rut, or you've sort of cut down from updating it once a day to updating it maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And also there's just this, as I've discussed on these webinars before, in the last 2 or 3 months, Facebook has changed its algorithm for how company pages are shown. And this, the strongest suspicion is they're doing it because they want people to start using promoted posts. And so given that, I think companies are going to have to do more and more to sort of engage customers and really get them coming to their Facebook page and checking it out. So I do have some specific ideas of things you might try. You can host a Facebook contest. Those tend to be popular. They tend to garner a lot of likes and have good customer engagement. And people always like being part of a page where they think that they can win something every now and then. So we've had a lot of our clients have had very successful Facebook contests in terms of the number of people who are not only liking the page because of the contest, but also then engaging in the contest, particularly if it's a kind of contest that might last for a while. Do one thing every day, and what I mean by that is just really do try to post something that is interesting or creative. Try to do one thing like that every single day, just to keep in the habit of it, and also so your page is always fresh and as much as possible you're staying in front of your customers. And I'll talk a little bit more in the webinar in just a few minutes about ways to think about what content to think about. Use promoted posts, or I should say use, excuse me, not used. I should say use promoted posts, and then I put he advised grudgingly. I don't like the fact that Facebook has changed its algorithms so that companies are getting less traffic and that they're being shown less to their customers. It seems like an unnecessary blow to companies. But all the studies are showing that promoted posts are a really useful thing. Obviously, I guess if Facebook is going to push you in that direction, they better make it worth your time. So promoted posts are tending to be even more clicked on and engaged with by people using Facebook than Facebook ads are. So just know that promoted posts might be a good tool, particularly if you're feeling like our traffic on our page has gotten so low that I need to do something, even if I have to pay to boost that up. And then the last idea, just be outrageous. Do something that's really going to get you some attention on your Facebook page, whether it is giving away something free every day, or having some sort of silly personality who comes out and starts posting, whatever it is. Do something that's going to get you noticed, and so that people are naturally drawn to your page. The next resolution: spruce up your Twitter feed. And why do I say this? Well, headers for Twitter feeds became available back in September, and that's when you go to somebody's Twitter feed, you see an image in the top right corner, a fairly large image up above the feed, and that's what the header image is. And also, the reason I suggest this is that it's possible that your background might be old. If you created a background image for your Twitter feed, particularly if you did it before they went into a 2-column format, then it's possible that your background is not displaying the way it could be. So this is something you might want to think about. So ways you want to do this with your header and your background image: of course, you want to reinforce your brand. Headers provide information. So because what Twitter is going to do is actually put your profile information up in that header, and so you want to make sure that profile information is also formatted as well as possible, so that it's looking really good on that header that you upload. And then backgrounds are dependent on browser size, so just remember that when you create a background image, that depending on how wide somebody's browser is or how narrow, that's going to make a little bit of a difference in terms of how it appears. So that's another important thing to remember. And remember also that these are just images. Neither one of them take HTML. So you really have to think about something that's going to be eye-catching, and it can pass on information. Certainly, I've seen background images and header images that have information or even URLs, but those are not going to be clickable. They're just strictly images, not anything else. The next resolution: get Google optimized. And maybe there should be a dash between Google and optimized, but you can imagine it's there. Well, so why? Why would I do this? Because Google is huge. Because Google is Google. And Google is something that any business that wants to be online just is going to have to contend with at some point. And so think about how you can optimize your business to be showing up well within Google search results. And so what do I mean by this? Well, first of all, if you don't have a Google Plus page for your business, go ahead and start one. It is worth the impact in terms of search engine optimization and that sort of thing, and connect it to Facebook if need be. There are ways to make it so that when you post on Google, or I'm sorry, on Facebook, then it's pushing that post over to Google Plus as well. So so just know that that's possible to do, so that you don't have to be maintaining content in both places if you don't want to. And then set up a Google Places for Business. Set that up. It's also called Google Plus Local Listing. So it's sort of Google is in the process of merging what used to be called Google Places for Businesses with this Google Plus Local listing. So what that takes is it takes verifying your address with Google, verifying the contact phone number with Google, that sort of thing. But when you do it, Google is, because you have basically verified your business with them, it really helps you with your search rankings. And when people find you, then they're able to get more information about you in terms of description of the company and hours and things like that. So that is something that you should think about doing, even though it's a little bit of a process. Optimize your website for search engine optimization. Just make sure that you are, that you have appropriate keywords and page titles and things like that. We've helped a lot of clients to sort of make sure that they're getting the best bang for their buck when it comes to SEO, because again, it's all about this sort of game of being found by Google and making sure that when Google comes and crawls your website, it's seeing good content and good keywords that actually relate to your business. And then, maybe this is the year to think about Google AdWords. Maybe it's not. If you do a Google AdWords account, a campaign, I would suggest making sure you have some sort of mechanism for tracking a person's interest all the way through a sales process to really get the most out of what Google AdWords can track. So just know that that's an option out there. Google AdWords, per click price tend to be more expensive than Facebook. You can spend $4, $5, $6 a click on Google, whereas on Facebook you tend to be spending $1 or $2 a click. So just know that that's also part of the deal. Resolution number 4, take LinkedIn to a new level. Why would I do that? Well, LinkedIn is still the online networking hub. It's still the place that people are going to do networking online, and that's particularly true, I think, now that they've added this endorsements tool and that sort of thing. So things you should try to do to take LinkedIn to a new level: go ahead and claim your company page, which you can do just by having an email address that has the same URL as your company. So I was able to claim our page because I have an askpivot.com address, which is the same URL as our website. So go ahead and claim your page and make sure that that gets set up. Think about starting a LinkedIn group, and maybe you become a local expert on something in your community. So if there's something of interest in your community that you think people might want to sort of discuss online, you can create a discussion group for just about anything within LinkedIn, and then people can join that, and since you're the moderator of it, you have a significant amount of control in terms of what people are seeing. So just think about that if that's something that interests you. Go on an endorsement spree, I say here. If you have a lot of professional connections that you think might be helpful for business, go visit all of your LinkedIn connections pages. Actually, and often you can just do it from your own page. But endorse, all of your connections for the skills that they say they have, or at least the skills that you know them to have. I have to admit, this endorsement feature is sort of fun because all of a sudden you'll get an email from LinkedIn saying so-and-so has endorsed you, and you think, oh, well, that was nice of them. I just think it's going to be a further useful networking tool for anyone who, who's looking to help create connections and maybe create business through LinkedIn. And then also think about LinkedIn. They do have the paid options for advertising and posting jobs. They tend to send out free coupons for LinkedIn advertising every now and then if you have a company page. So think about trying that out and testing the waters there, and seeing if that's useful and creates any revenue for you through LinkedIn. Fifth resolution: have a social site. A social website. Why would I want to do this? Well, at this point, connecting your website with social media, it's a must. It's a given. It's something that you need to do. And let me describe how you might do that. At a minimum, you need to have the icons of your social media sites on your homepage. On your homepage, at the least, even better would be in a header or a footer that's going to be on every page that people will see. Certainly, sharing icons would also be good. There are really great plugins like Share This and Add This that help people easily share your content that's on your website. Incorporate your feeds if you want to take it a next step. So it's always fun on a home feed. On a home page to be able to see your Facebook company page feed or your Twitter feed, and it's not hard to do. They're making it easier and easier to incorporate feeds into your website. Let people use Facebook for comments and discussions. So Facebook has now allowed this, giving you the ability to have it so that people sign into their Facebook account in order to post comments on a blog or post in a discussion group. But really, that's using the technology that's already there to let people to comment or have discussions on your site. So consider using something like that. And then take this however many steps down the road you want to in terms of having a social site. I always have liked the idea of, in a photo album section of a website, sort of embedding your Pinterest page or embedding your Facebook timeline into your company history page so that actually people are engaging with your timeline there. So think about creative ways to do that so that you are, sort of showing people more and more that you're on social media and and that it's a place that they can connect with you. New Year's resolution number 6: host a social media event. Why? Well, in-person gatherings, I think, help put the social in social media, and there are many ways you can do this. There are all sorts of ways, some that appeal to me more than others. Let me just suggest a handful. Tweet-ups, it's not something I've ever been to, I'll confess that, but it is something that tends to be popular for people who are active on Twitter, where you get a bunch of people together at an event, and they are sort of tweeting about the event as the event's happening. So it's really kind of a conversation and then a meta conversation going on about the conversation. So tweet-ups are popular. They tend to happen, during or right before a conference or some other event that's happening. So, you could consider having a tweet up, before your next college home team football game or whatever. Something along those lines. So that's what a tweet up is and why you might want to have one. Instagram or Pinterest scavenger hunts, right, where you give people clues and they have to then take photos and post them to their Instagram account or their Pinterest account to prove that they found whatever it is that you're trying to get them to find. Those can be fun games if you are interested in sort of putting in the work behind that. Certainly a great customer engagement tool and something that people will have a lot of fun with. And then, again, depending on what kind of business you have, classes, if you could hold classes that would help people learn about Facebook or Twitter or any of the other social media sites, and you can, sort of discuss best practices and privacy concerns. And really, these how-to classes tend to be pretty popular. Obviously, they'll attract a demographic of people who are not as familiar with Facebook. They're not going to bring in people who are already super familiar with social media, but they do tend to be useful classes for people. New Year's resolution 7, step out with Pinterest, Instagram, Yelp, or maybe even all three. So if you haven't tried one of these three, the reason why you would want to do it is that these services are still somewhat smaller, but they're all popular in different ways. Pinterest continues to grow, and it's maintained its momentum in terms of how frequently people are using it, and how much time people are spending on it, and it's the number of people, just the sheer number of people using it. It is still growing. So know that that's I almost hesitated to put that in here alongside Instagram because Instagram is so new, right? Instagram is very popular in terms of its mobile platform, but its web profiles are brand new. So I put it here because that's again the sort of thing that I think you might want to be on the front end of. Create your Instagram web profile before everyone has them, and sort of show people that you are one step ahead when it comes to social media. And Yelp is still a great place for people to learn about you by the reviews that other people write. So I think sort of holding a campaign to ask people to write Yelp reviews of your business would be useful. Apple on the iPhone is still using Yelp as its default review program when you're searching around for businesses using your iPhone. So these are all really good places for you to be, to engage with customers, and to engage with sort of your more socially savvy customers as well. New Year's resolution number 8, keep up with the latest trends. This would be a great resolution for all of us, I think. Why would you want to do that? Well, internet memes help you be relevant. And so when I'm talking about latest trends here, I'm actually not talking about developments in social media. I will talk about that in a minute. But actually what I'm talking about here, when I'm talking about latest trends, I'm talking about things that come around that are popular and sort of take the internet world by storm, right? So it's things like Gangnam Style. If you don't know what Gangnam Style is, it's worth looking it up on YouTube. I have heard about but have not looked up yet Honey Boo Boo. I'm a little afraid to look up Honey Boo Boo. But the reason that I think it is important as a company to be aware of these internet memes that go around, these videos that go viral, or images that are particularly funny or for some reason, these things get into people's consciousness and people's conversations, and so people are talking about them, and so the way you can use that as a company is to sort of surprise people and impress them by your knowledge of these things that are popular out there. So with something like Gangnam Style, which is this really sort of fun video, and it incorporates a dance that looks like somebody riding a horse. I mean, you can imagine the sort of fun posts you could have around that about like, the new service we're announcing today is going to make you so happy you'll go Gangnam Style, right? So some sort of post like that, where people you're making people laugh because they know about this thing that that everybody's sort of talking about. I really think it's worth it. So ways to find this: other people's Facebook feeds are always good. There are certain celebrities who tend to post these sorts of things. There's a site called Upworthy.com, and the whole sort of point of that site is that they're trying to push out good content to the world. And then we talked a little bit about how these memes relate to your business. Resolution number 9, educate yourself. So this is when I said I was going to be talking about keeping up with the latest in technology. Here's the resolution around that. Social media is constantly changing. This is why you want to to do this. And so you do want to keep on top of the changes that Facebook is making to company profiles, or how ads are done, or what Twitter is doing, what Google Plus is doing. Any of these sites, you want to know what's happening, and you want to know what the next big thing is going to be. So some of my favorite resources: Mashable, Smart Brief on social media is an email newsletter that I get every day that keeps you up on the latest news. And also, in terms of this, the Hootsuite Hootlit. Hootsuite is a service where you can schedule your posts for the future, your social media posts for the future. But they also have this great this great tool. It's very much like the Pinterest Pin It button that you can install into your browser. The Hootlit is something you install into your browser, so that when you find something that's interesting online, whether it's an article or a video that you would maybe want to share on your company page, all you need to do is click the Hootlit button, and then you can select which of your social networks you want to connect it to, because of course you will have already set that up within Hootsuite. And then you write your post, and then you can either post it right then, or you can schedule it to be posted at another time. But I think the nice thing about that is that I at least run across good articles or good videos all the time, and it's not always the perfect time to post it to the Pivot Facebook page or any other Facebook page I might administer. But it might be something, or I don't want to take the time to go over to Facebook and do that post right there. So the Hootlit button is really useful in terms of just easily sharing content at right when you find the content, is my point. And my last New Year's resolution: make a time goal and stick to it. And why about this? I do think it's good not to spend either too much or too little time doing social media. You don't want it to take over your life, but you also don't want to neglect it. So I'm saying, make a goal for how much time you're going to spend using and learning about and updating social media for your company. Now, your own personal social media use is up to you. But for your company, make a goal and then try to stick to it. So I'm making the joke. It's a lot like physical fitness, right? I'm sure. I shouldn't say this. I at least will be making some goals for myself around physical fitness for 2013. I'm making my own New Year's resolutions, and so I was thinking this is sort of social media is very similar, right? If I want to work out at least 4 or 5 times a week, well, I also want to, the resolution I'm suggesting here is that you make a goal of, I'm going to spend 30 minutes a day doing something related to social media for my company. I think you can do everything that I've talked about, all of these resolutions that I've talked about in this presentation today. I think you could probably do them all in an hour or less a day. So I don't think that these things are super difficult. I think you could do it, an hour a day for social media is really a good long time. And I think at a minimum, you can, 15 minutes a day is going to let you keep 2 or 3 of your social media sites fresh and keep you up to date with, checking out the Smart Brief on social media newsletter or Mashable, what's going on there, So I think somewhere between 15 minutes and an hour, is a good amount of time to tell yourself you're going to spend on social media, and then don't worry about it after that. So those are my New Year's resolutions. There they are listed, all 10 of them. There is a question here related to LinkedIn. How do you associate your company page with the company group? And it's a new feature that's rolled out this week. It doesn't seem to be functional yet, and that's a great question. I actually have not checked out that feature, so I will take a look at that, and I will report back the next time we have the webinar. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not sure of the answer to that. I believe that as a company page, you can start a group from there, but I'm not sure about if you already have an existing company group, how you might get that linked up with your page. So I'll find out about that and let you know. So that's all we have for today. Our next webinar is 3 weeks from today, Friday, January 4th at 11 o'clock Pacific time, and we talked today about New Year's resolutions before the new year. And then once we are in the new year, I'm going to talk about what to expect in terms of social media, sort of some things that analysts say we might expect to see in 2013. So I look forward to that. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate your time, and have a wonderful rest of your holiday season and a wonderful New Year, and we'll see you the Friday after New Year. Thanks so much, everyone. Remember to keep your media social and your talk straight.